In several parts of the Gauteng province, there's been some persistent rain in the province since Tuesday. To get an update on the situation, we have now in studio Robert Mulaudzi from the Johannesburg Emergency Services. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. Now, what reports do we have? How's the situation in Johannesburg?
Yeah, we had a number of areas which were reported to have been flooded overnight. For instance, in Ivory Park, last night at the Tembakoza area, we rescued a 60-year-old lady who was trapped while she was trying to cross Kalfontein River stream. There's sort of a self-made bridge which the residents are using to cross from the other area to the other area.
And I think that is worrying, that people still risk their own lives to cross even though they can see the water levels.
Yes, that's another challenge for us because that situation could have been avoided. But we're happy that we managed to rescue her. She survived the incident unharmed. And over and above that, we are also looking at areas like Klip Valley in Soweto. There's an area called Klip Town there, which most of the residents are staying right in a flood line. When we have rainfalls like this one, the ones we have, they will have some of the dwellings which are flooded in that area, and of course Stretla in Alexandra, which is just alongside.
I was about to speak about Alexandra. We know even with the Yakske River, it's always a problem. So what contingency plans do we have for those areas?
Yeah, so what we have done, we've conducted our public education efforts in terms of disaster preparedness, where we're training our residents there about evacuation procedures. What is it that they must do when they have to evacuate when the water levels are much more higher. Since we know that we don't have a jurisdiction in terms of like removing them there, we can only remove as and when there's a need for us to do so. So we have done that. We're happy that so far in the last 6 days, which we have been receiving the rainfalls, we haven't had any major incidents. However, maybe the challenge might be with the motorists because we've seen motorists trying to take a chance to cross some of the flooded areas. Like for instance, we had an incident in Soweto where just along Klip Valley, just opposite one of the car dealers in the area. That area, most of the motorists, they are aware of the area that every time it gets flooded, but they still try to cross it. Especially, taxis. They're still a problem for us because they try now and then to take a chance to cross these areas. Now that most of the water levels are higher, we're still going to have a challenge of young kids who now school holidays, they might be tempted to go play next to these areas, the river streams and also dams. So our message to adults and parents out there is to make sure that they must monitor the young kids so that they stay away from these areas.
And we also have a whole lot of some low-lying areas in Johannesburg. What precautionary measures do we need to take? Most of us parents is to say that it's the school holidays. Children may want to go and explore. So precautionary measures.
Yes, so the young kids, they need to stay away from those areas, and also the residents, even the residents in our formal residential areas. Most of like the drainage systems which we have in our communities, they're not operating fully because when they're cleaning up, they put the debris inside those drainage systems. Now when we have the rainfall, we have like floods everywhere, so which can be avoided. From our side, I think we have done our best to firstly educate our residents about what is it that they can do when we have like rainfalls like this one. So we've got our swift water rescue team, which is on high alert throughout the week, as we witnessed last night when we rescued the old lady. So we're hoping that our residents will be able to work with us so that we can prevent further incidents, since we are told we might still get some rainfall up until Wednesday.
Yeah, but in terms of the roads, how are things looking? Obviously they're wet and slippery.
Yes, now the roads are wet and slippery, and I've seen most of the roads as we were driving overnight trying to monitor these river themes. There's a lot of potholes which might be dangerous to motorists. So our message is to say our motorists need to be cautious, and of course when they drive in the rainfall, they need to extend the safe following distance so that we can prevent motor vehicle accidents, because we've seen in the last 6 days we have responded to a number of motor vehicle accidents when we have the wet weather conditions like the ones which we're having.
Yeah, indeed. So going back to Stretla and Alexandra, are the residents cooperating in terms of the evacuation? Because we know that incidents have happened in that area previously with floods back in 2016, for example. Lives were lost. So are they cooperating in terms of being evacuated?
Yes, they do. They do cooperate with us when we do our public education efforts. Another advantage for us is that we've tried to put up we call it an automatic rainfall system, just in that area of Swetla. So that automatic rainfall systems assist us to be able to measure the amount of rainfall which we receive in the area, so that we can be able to disseminate information for evacuation purposes. So far we're happy that we don't have any challenges in that area. So we're hoping that it will be like that, going forward.
All right, 80% a chance of rain forecast. I suppose as it is now, fortunately there are no incidents of lives lost, no injuries as it is, but of course residents have to be careful. Yes,
they need to be exercise caution, because what will happen now, we might actually have a number of incidents, maybe drowning incidents, after we have encountered this kind, a lot of rainfall like the ones which we have. So we're hoping that our residents, they will exercise caution as they drive, and also young kids will be monitored so that we can prevent those incidents. But from our side as emergency services, we are on high alert, and we should be able to respond to whatever emergencies which might occur out there.
Yeah. Robert, we'll leave it at this. Amanda.
Thank you very much.
All right, Robert Mulaudzi is Johannesburg Emergency Services, a spokesperson, talking to us about the flooding situation in the city of Johannesburg. Of course, we do know that 80% of rain has been forecast in the area, so you need to be extra cautious where you live. Most of those who are living in low-lying areas as well, even if you're going to be on the roads, please make sure that you do stay safe. We're taking a quick break here on SA Today. We'll have some business news for you. Stay with us.
We don't only show you what's trending, but also travel far and wide to find you hidden gems. We go deep into untapped territories, bringing life in its simplest form. Catch Trends Travel every Saturday.